My name's Nathan Phillips, and I have cancer. This past Friday, it was my 4th treatment of chemotherapy, and I have 4 more to go. This is the 2nd time that I've had cancer and gone through these treatments. The last time was a transforming journey through which God did great things in my life. There were prayers that I had stopped praying years before because of doubt that He answered mightily at that time. He surrounded me with His love and His peace in a way that I didn't know existed before that. The things that He showed me through that time, the ways that He healed me and blessed me, are too many to tell you about in a week of family beach nights. These 2 experiences, though, with the same disease, the same treatment, and the same God could not be more different. The peace that I felt last time was beyond my ability to put into words. This time, I'm equally at a loss for words to describe how terrible what I'm going through is for me every day. I do not feel the overwhelming peace. I do not feel the love, and I do not feel the comfort of God. I think the best word for what I feel is abandoned. People have said many things to me like, God doesn't put you in a situation that's more than you can handle. Or they tell me about Malachi 3:3 that says, He will sit as a refiner of purifier of silver over you. This verse is telling of God's character towards us because when you're refining silver, you have to watch it really closely. And if you let it stay in the fire too long or let it get too hot, the silver will be damaged. So to say that He sits as a refiner is to say that He's watching very intently with great care. And somehow that doesn't even comfort me. The Bible is full of examples of times that it seemed God had abandoned His people, and no one expected Him to show up and do anything about it. One of those times involved a king who had made a law, and that law said that everyone had to bow down to a golden statue that he had built. 3 men refused, though. The king had them brought before him, and he gave them one last chance on threat of death to bow to his idol. He told them, bow down to it, or I will have you thrown into a furnace of blazing fire that no God can save you from. Now, I'd be freaking out at that point, but they kept it cool. They said, if it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the furnace of blazing fire, and He will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But even if He does not, let it be known to you, O king, we will not go down serving your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up. The king went into a visible rage that distorted his face, the Bible says. He ordered the fire to be heated 7 times hotter than normal, and then he had his soldiers bind the men and throw them into it. The heat from the fire was so great that the soldiers that threw the men in died just from being close to the flames. Everyone who was watching started freaking out because they said, look, I see 4 men loosed and walking in the midst of the flames without harm, and the appearance of the 4th is like a son of the gods. The king saw this and shouted into the fire, telling the men to come out. And when they did, everyone saw that not only were they alive, but the fire had no effect on their bodies, nor was the hair on their heads singed, nor were their trousers damaged, nor had even the smell of fire come upon them. All of you are going to go home tonight, and even tomorrow, you're going to smell the smoke from our little fire on you, and we just built it for s'mores. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they knew that God could save them. They also knew there was a chance that God might not save them from the fire. And yet, they defied the king. They said, but even if He does not, let it be known to you, O king, that we are not going to serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up. God did not abandon them to the fire, though. He hasn't abandoned me either. No matter how terrible this journey is, no matter how much my feelings lie to me and beg for comfort, He is sitting, watching as the refiner of my life. And more important than that is the fact that He won't let me stay in the flame too long. Actually, more important than that fact is that you can't make a fire that's too big or too hot for my God to handle. And that isn't even the best part. The best part is that even if he doesn't deliver me from the flames, Christ's victory is over death and the grave. Because of this, I'm rescued already. We out.